Greetings, everybody. I'm John Brown, and today is June the 2nd, 2013. This may be one of the most important videos that I will ever do, but what I'm going to talk about today has been on my mind and my heart for quite a while, and I'm hopeful that you all will benefit from it. It's not necessarily earth-shattering, but it's a message that sometimes we need to be reminded of. How many times have you heard of someone being referenced to as the next someone? Um, Whether that's the next Serena Williams or the next Barack Obama or the next Michelle Obama or the next Ted Turner, the next Jane Fonda, along those lines. And sometimes we can kind of get caught up in that, and sometimes our motives can be geared toward fulfilling that prophecy that people may have for us. But I found that when I am competing against someone, that's a waste of energy because I truly believe God put us on this earth not to be competitors, but to be unique individuals. We are not made in the image of each other, but we are made in God's image. And I really think that people need to be reminded of that. Um, because if you are, then that means that the things that you do will be done in a manner in which you are solely trying to fulfill your destiny and to do the things that God, the Creator, whoever you may reference Him as, wants for you to do. And I think it takes the pressure off as well. I guess I'll give you an example. Um, I write, and I started writing in my mid 20s. And one of the writers that I identified most with was James Baldwin. And I think as soon as I read Giovanni's Room, I was hooked. And I went on to read everything else he had done, such as Another Country, Go Tell It on the Mountain, and even his plays. And I decided that, you know what, I want to be the next James Baldwin. And so that's kind of what I set out to do. And in order for me to do that, my goal was to be published by the time I was 25, because I believe that's the age that he was when he published Go Tell It on the Mountain. And so I worked and I worked and I worked and I wrote and I tried to find literary agents, and that was a very frustrating process. And so years went by and I got to 24. Oh my God, I gotta get it done, gotta get it done. And 25 came and I still wasn't published, and 26 came, and 27, and 28, and so forth and so on. And I felt bad because I wasn't able to do what Jimmy, as he was known to his friends, had done, and that really was disheartening for me. But I learned from that I'm not James Baldwin, and I wasn't ready. He had the maturity level and the talent at 25 that I didn't have, and I'm glad it didn't work out that way. And as years went by, I was able to self-publish my own novel, and I'm very proud of that. But a few other people that we often really idolize, I want to be like people like, Oprah. Let's look at Oprah for a minute. Where's hers? Here we go. Oprah. Lots of us want to be like Oprah, and for a good reason. Oprah has her own network, she has her own magazine, she's influential, she has a lot of money, um, and she can pretty much get an interview out of anybody. And it's certainly nothing's wrong with wanting to emulate some of the things that people have done, and nothing is wrong with being inspired by what other people have done. But again, our life experiences make us into the people that we become. Oprah didn't just become Oprah overnight. Oprah has been through some really tough stuff. I mean, she's been sued as a child. She was molested. Oprah's been vilified a lot. She has been deceived and taken advantage of. And if we say we want to be like Oprah, then we are welcoming those things into our lives. I know I don't want anybody deceiving me. I don't want anybody molesting me. I am not equipped to live the life that Oprah has lived. I don't want that pain. So therefore, I don't want to be Oprah, and I don't think anybody should want to be Oprah either. We can be inspired by her, but let Oprah be Oprah, and let us be ourselves. Another person that I often hear people wanting to be like is somebody like Tyler Perry. So let's find Tyler. Where is he? Here he is. Here we go. Tyler Perry. A lot of times, people say, oh, he has Tyler Perry Studios and he has the creative freedom to make any show that he wants to make and to do his own movies, and he's rich and he's influential and all of those things. But just like I was talking about Oprah, Tyler Perry has been through a lot of painful experiences. He talked about being molested as a child. He talked about being abused by his father. He talked about being homeless and living in his car as he pursued his dream. And I don't want to be sleeping in the car, I don't want to be abused. I don't, want any of the negative things that have happened to him. And like I said earlier, those negative experiences are essential because just like the positive, the negative and the positive together make us into who we are. And sometimes those negative experiences are strengthening, and because they allow us to acquire skills and tools to move on to the next level. So again, I like Tyler, not necessarily a big fan of all of the work that he's done, but I do admire the fact that this man can have a vision and make something happen with that. But the person that I really want to be is, let me find him. Here he is, John W. Brown. That's good enough for me. That's who God wants me to be. That is all I want to be, is the best representation of myself that I can be. I certainly look at life and look at people who have done things similar to what I want to do. And that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, that's the only person that I want to be. And that's good enough. There's work that I'm going to do that nobody else can do. And I really, like I said, want to be the best John Brown I can be. So, since I have balloons, you might have guessed that one thing that we do with balloons is we burst them. So, while I really, really, really admire the life that Tyler Perry has lived, not trying to be like him, while I love Harpo, God knows I do, I don't want to be you, Oprah, either. Jimmy. Oh, how I love James Baldwin and how I've been inspired by the work that he's done. But he had his time, he had his moment, and his place in history is secured. And I can't be him, and I stopped running that race against a dead man years ago. So you got to go too, Jimmy. And the only person that I'm going to rock with is John Brown. That's it. And that's what I encourage each and every one of you to do as well. And I'm not bursting this one. Let's see. This video is sponsored. And remember, our sponsors don't know that they're sponsoring me. Lipton Half and Half. This stuff is so good. It's half tea and half lemonade. And I encourage you all to go out and buy this as well. But that's it. I just wanted to do that video to kind of encourage us to be ourselves, be authentic, and really honor the lives that God has given us to live, and certainly be inspired by what other people do, but always take root in this body that God has given you and watch and see what he does in your life. I really appreciate anybody who may watch this video. You can certainly follow me on Twitter at John W. Brown 1. You can find me on Facebook as well. And until next time, have a wonderful day and take the best care of yourself that you can. And when you can, lend a hand to someone else. Thank you.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the